Gordon, what are you looking for today?
Well, I'm interested in infrastructure, how all the services of the city came to be. Do you have anything in that area?
I have just the thing. Come this way.
It looks to me like this is a field book that an engineer who was involved in putting in sewer lines in 1911 carried with him, and would make little notes, perhaps possibly even little calculations that would show where they were putting the sewer lines. And it's wonderful because it's filled with all kinds of little sketches like, well, here, this is one from a registered land title from July 1st, 1911, showing a portion of 9th Street and with dimensions. So probably, servicing each of the houses along 9th Street with a sewer line. What's remarkable too is that if they were simply putting in sewer lines in 1911, it means that conceivably some of these places never had sewer service for several decades, and that's something that's really quite surprising, but it illustrates that even well into the 20th century, people didn't have flush toilets. In fact, there's a really cool spot over on the east side of Brandon that really tells the story of that early sewage handling.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay, well, you go ahead.
When you think of home pickups and deliveries, you tend to think of things like the delivery of dairy products or the pickup of garbage. You don't tend to think of the pickup of raw sewage. But starting in the late 1800s, that was the case in Brandon. Horse-drawn wagons, known as honey wagons, would go to door, picking up pails of sewage from each house, and then delivering them to the Assiniboine River. The destination for all of Brandon's honey wagons was here, on the bank of the Assiniboine River, at the Honey Wagon Shack. So imagine a honey wagon backing slowly in here, stopping maybe right about here. They would maybe open a tap on the back of the honey wagon, or maybe they'd tilt it a little bit and the contents would flow into that hole and run down and out to the river. But maybe there'd be some residual stuff inside the hole, so they had a tank up here that they would use to wash it out. There might be a hose fastened to this pipe over here that come over, and they could use that to rinse the inside of the pipe. But of course, eventually that tank would get empty, so they had to refill it. And there's this pipe over here running to what is probably a well pipe. Maybe it comes over to the river, and there might have been a pump right here they would use to pump water up and refill the tank, ready for the next honey wagon to deliver its goods. The philosophy of the day seemed to be that the solution to pollution is dilution. So the pipe here from the honey wagon shack would discharge its sewage out into the river, where it would be diluted in large volumes of water and therefore somehow purified. And that philosophy carried on through the 20th century. Right next to the honey wagon pipe, we have a more modern sewage outfall from the city of Brandon, which likewise discharged stuff into the water. So, that attitude about how to get rid of sewage continued through much of the 20th century.